Here's something we're going to try. I have a 1992 YJ, and it has a soft top, and the soft top is starting to, well, it feels like it's going to fly off in the wind. Have you ever had that problem? Well, the rail that's holding it on is starting to pull off at the front, up here on the front of the window. And I've gone around and I've put, new screws in there of varying sizes to kind of make things work. But now the holes are getting too big for those screws. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to use some threaded lock pop rivets, and we're going to try to fix it. So you can see here, we got the top off. Take a look at the holes here. Oop, here we are. So you see what's happening here. We got these spiders, and there's like a little bit, you can kind of make it out. Maybe if we go this way, you can make out that it's raised. So we're going to tap them down a little bit with a hammer, very gently, because I don't want to break my window. And then we are going to drill these out a little bit larger so that we can fit these pop rivets in. We got a kit here from the Harbor Freight, really cheap. It was only 20 bucks, I think it was. It's a set that comes with the riveter, and it comes with a series of different size inserts. We only get 10 of each of these. Hopefully we got enough, which I think we do. And I just picked up a bunch of different various machine screws, also at Harbor Freight in the same section, to aid with this. So you can see here the idea is that I think we're going to use this size here, which is number 8, and we're going to, out of focus, we're going to get this in this hole. I'm going to have to expand it a little bit and use the riveter to pop them through. I just have a regular hammer. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those nice body hammers or a dolly to kind of tap them down, but I went very gentle just to flatten it out a little bit so that we at least have a good substrate. I don't know if this is going to be a good long-term solution for this part, because probably we're going to want to rivet down a new piece of sheet metal along with this. Would probably be the best idea, but we'll see how this holds, and maybe we'll do that as a step in the future. Because you can see the metal here is definitely pretty well split. Each one of these thread nut nozzle pieces is different for each size thread nut. So I'm going to use the one here that's this side here it screws into the thread nut, and this side here screws into the tool, and then the nozzle goes on top of it. The key feature here is that you can't really screw this up because the screw at the top is a reverse thread, so this one screws in backwards, and then the nozzle head goes on top of that. The thread nut will screw into this, and we'll go from there. But we're going to use the number 8 by 32s because I have screws for that are 1/2 inch deep. Now the 3/4 look like they do clear, but I just want to try to minimize the size of the holes I'm making in this thing just in case something goes wrong, and it gives me a little bit more flexibility in the future to try to repair it a little bit better. Looks pretty good. So the one thing I didn't show you with this tool is that we screwed in the thread nut into the nozzle on the nozzle end. In order to get it out, once you actually rivet this into the car, is that you have to unscrew the top over here to unscrew it. But it helps to hold this closed slightly so that it makes it easier to rotate the knob there. But because I only have one camera and 2 hands and a tool, it's hard to do that all at once because I don't have a head cam. But anyway, there we go. Looks like it's a success so far. So now we're going to hook up the rod and see how this goes, if it worked. The one concern I have right at the moment is to see if the holes line up. Hopefully they do, or get pretty close, but we'll go slow. So this rail here, I previously installed a piece of weather stripping on the bottom of it. I think that helps a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a wind barrier. But we're going to lay that on, and at a first glance, it looks like these are lining up pretty good. I didn't put them in the end, so hopefully that's okay, because definitely the depth is going to be a little bit different here. But we'll see how it holds up. Well, that was pretty easy. Went quick too. Only time we'll tell whether or not this works once we get down, driving down the highway at highway speeds and the air gets up underneath there. We'll see if it lifts, and or if we hear that telltale sign of it cracking. There's like a little crack that mine was making, going like that. That was a sign that the center screws were popping out a little bit, or moving, like jumping thread, I guess. So I would suggest not over torquing this because the thread nuts are only aluminum, and I am using stainless steel screws, so that is a combination. You don't want to end up stripping the thread nuts, which I think is possible because aluminum is very soft. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can report back later and give an update and say, yay, this works, or nay, it didn't really work and we had to do a different plan. But I think in the short term, it feels like a good fix. Or at least, if nothing else, we will be able to screw them back in if they loosen up, which I don't think they will. I think what would happen is that the thread nuts themselves will start to loosen in the holes. So in that instance, I think I will go in and just put a piece of sheet metal across the top of it, you know, prime and paint something white, rivet it, do the same thread nut idea, except do it so that I'm using the thread nuts to also rivet the new piece of sheet metal to the roof, and see how that works. Anyway, oh, lastly, you'll also notice that I didn't use thread nuts for the bottom, the last two screws on the sides, like right over here, the last one. The reason is because my set only came with 10 screws, and that requires 11 to go do the whole rail. So rather for the aesthetic, keeping it equal, I just put the same tapping screw back in, and it seemed to work just fine. So go from there. Thanks for watching.